Today, we talk about
Yeezy hype is dead. Yeezy hype is... Yeah, shut the f... Yo, no, G, I'm getting Chris Rock with this ish, alright?
Tired of niggas. Tired of niggas, man.
Tired. So, what qualifies me to talk on the subject? Well, for one,
How you gonna argue this kind of ish right here? I got the views from the six.
alright, fine, it's not OVO land, aka Toronto, but that off-white belt, though. But, in all seriousness, I guess my only qualification is the following. Bop.
Listen, son, I bought kicks. I bought the nice kicks. I got the nice kicks. I do this shit.
For Madden.
Fuck you, Gumby!
Yo, for real, you trying to clown me?
And I'll hardly take offense.
I ain't gonna be offended.
They been trying me, but I'm resilient for real.
I'm cold.
I can't go in public like civilian for real.
They call me Cold World. Nah, they don't. But for real, this has been heavy on my mind, so I figured I'd share my opinions with y'all. So, I got a bone to pick with anybody that says Yeezy hype is dead, especially with this new butter colorway coming out. And let me explain. First of all, let's be for real. A lot of people like to clown the Yeezys, or really any shoe, once it becomes general release, okay? And the reason people do this is, actually, to be honest with you, I don't know. I don't really operate the same way y'all do. As a 30-year-old and as a
fucking duck.
I can't really relate to a lot of the younger sneakerhead struggles, aka because you're still young, growing kids who need, new shoe sizes every school year or something like that. I can't relate to the fact that you don't have as much money as I do, so you have to worry about selling kicks to be able to have more money to buy the newest kicks and stay cool and stay trendy and day. So I get it, understanding of that. The other thing I'm understanding of is the fact that I never used to understand why people would be like, hey, if they're not limited, they're not special. Ooh, I want to be special and be one of a kind and have my own sneaker and be unique and stand out and be able to express myself. Like, I never got that. I thought that shit was pansy AF. But what made me change my mind was the one time I went to New York City with my Supreme BOGO hoodie on, and I went to Soho, and usually, for the most part, I've been kind of on my own in the boondocks in upstate New York doing my own thing, and I was like, so I couldn't really relate because I wasn't seeing anybody else really staying fashion forward, fashion trendy, let alone the young kids being able around that area to be able to afford stuff like that. So, I was just kind of like all up in my own YouTube and chill zone. So I really couldn't relate. I was just really buying things that really spoke to me personally, and that was about it. So I didn't really take those factors into account. Lo and behold, I go to Soho one day and I'm wearing my BOGO hoodie, and like literally everybody's wearing a BOGO hoodie. Granted, I had a little bit more of a limited special hoodie. So that's when it kind of clicked for me that, hey, there really is something to limited edition releases and, allowing for limited products, especially of certain colorways. But honestly, after that, we good. Let me explain. So one thing I want you guys to understand is the fact that, I really don't trust or believe you're really in it for the right reasons if you're solely bringing up this whole hype is dead, Yeezy's gonna die, Air Force One died because, they released too many. Like, I understand the sentiment, I understand where it's coming from, but it's a little bit misleading. Let me tell you why. First of all, let's take the Adidas Stan Smith or the Adidas Superstar as a prime example. At one time, one or the other or both or, day, whatever, they shared the title of like most sold shoe, either most sold sneaker ever or most sold Adidas model ever, and they kind of fluctuated year to year, but that's not the point. The point is they sell all the time, to the point where their general release, you can walk into any Adidas store at any time and get them issues. No big deal. But you see people wearing Stan Smiths or Superstars every day and, feeling like you're, one out of 100 people all wearing the same thing and kind of feeling awkward about it. No. Now, could there be a lot of reasons at play for that? Of course, with the modern climate, limited releases, day to day, people aren't going to be gravitating to Stan Smiths every day. But with that said, if everything were in the same boat, meaning everything weren't limited, I'd be hard-pressed to believe that everyone would be wearing the same thing, okay? Secondly, before I forget, because my mind's a little scatterbrained right now, let me give you a prime example with some of these issues. So let's take these bad boys.
Bread ones, right? These are the 2013 version, not the 2016 version. But long story there. But anyway, doesn't not the point here. Point is, at one time when they first retroed these, before the whole retro culture, these retroed for the first time in 1994, and they actually sat in stores for less than $20. Can you believe that ish? This freaking classic, maybe best shoe of all time, Nike Air on the tongue, all that ish, no bullshit, Jumpman on the back, Air Jordan 1 bread band, whatever you want to call it, shoe, classic shoe, sat in stores for less than $20. Why is that?
Well, why that is not the point of the video. The point is, fast forward decades later, and I'm spending over $600 for them issues and other versions of it that are going for over $1,000 at some point, okay? Those that don't remember history are doomed to repeat it, okay? And I'm a little older and a little bit more mature, not that much, but I am a little bit more mature than y'all and a little bit more nerdy and in my own head. So I kind of think about these kinds of things, all right? What I want y'all to remember is there's going to be a day where Yeezy is going to become more important to the human existence and pop culture and culture in general than Michael Jordan ever was. I mean, you're already seeing signs of that. Michael Jordan being considered a crying meme as opposed to his basketball highlights, and on top of that, the fact that his basketball highlights are all like 240p grainy ass footage that you can barely watch on YouTube. On top of the fact that Yeezy's music is going to last forever. People are going to listen to that forever and going to be affected by that more often than they will by Michael Jordan's top 11 plays of all time highlights, okay? That's one thing. Second of all, what you have to realize is, with all that said, Jordan's effect on the sneaker culture is so massive that even these shoes that went on sale and were obviously massively produced at one time for less than $20 and still come back all the time are still selling out, okay? So quality product is quality product. And as an extension of that, Yeezy's products will be the same exact thing, if not more so of a significant thing, because of Yeezy's value to the culture more so than Michael Jordan ever will be, when all is said and done. Maybe not right now, but in 10, 20, 30, 50 years, I guarantee you we'll be talking about Yeezy way more than we'll be talking about Michael Jordan. Let me tell you that. Next, just because a shoe sits doesn't mean dick. And what I mean is, eventually these shoes are going to sell out. Eventually they're going to discontinue them and move on to other models. And then eventually some kid is going to come along in 5 years, 10 years, 11 years, 30 years. He's going to see that butter colorway for the first time and he's going to be like, wow, what is that? Oh my God, mommy, let me have it. Oh my God. And this is the next point I want to drive home to y'all. There are shoes you look at for the first time and you think to yourself, hey, that is an amazing shoe. Let me find out more about it because I don't know much about it. Especially when you're new to the sneaker culture. Think about how many people are new to the sneaker game and don't know what they're looking at. And that's the first shoe they see and they go, wow, what is that? I want to learn more. And then all of a sudden that's their ticket into the sneaker game. The Butter 350 V2. What if that's that sneaker? Huh? Who are you to tell them that that should or should not be the sneaker? That's another thing. Next, all these influencers and all these big shots and all these connected folk and all these dudes with a plug who keep saying Yeezy hype is dead. I hate that they're mass producing Yeezys. Fuck you. And I say that with the least amount of love lost. And I'll tell you why. Who the fuck do you think you are to declare Yeezy hype lost, to declare that Yeezy hype is dead, to declare that the shoe is now dead because more people can have it? Do you hear yourself? Do you realize how fucking ridiculous that sounds? There's a kid whose whole dream is to get a Yeezy sneaker. Do you not remember this clip?
Limited run, sold out, buying them online for over
$1,500 for them.
I didn't want them to be limited, actually. That's something that the company did. I really want as many people to get them as possible. I don't want to play this like sneaker culture game, reselling them. I just want to have what I made. Ain't no limited release of the college dropout. Like it's $5,000 sweatshirts and all, everybody spending that money to try to show up in the club. We need to spend that money on our families and stuff.
Tell me the first time you didn't hear that fucking clip, back when you didn't have fucking Yeezy. You didn't rejoice and be happy and just, Yeezy, oh my God, we're all gonna get Yeezys. You did that. I know you did behind closed doors. I wasn't watching you, but I might as well have, because I'm like that.
I mean, I'm not like that, but not saying. Listen, now that you have all your pairs of Yeezys, now that you happen to somehow, isn't it funny how like every influencer wins like every raffle? Isn't that some like suspicious, fishy bullshit, by the way? I don't know, man. I don't know what to tell you. And yeah, while I'm on the topic, I'm sorry, this is going to turn into a little bit of a rant, but you motherfuckers that win those raffles and then stick those retail price shoes on your feet and go, man, guys, wear your kicks. Don't be one of these guys to just stock them and forget about them. You got to wear your kicks, guys. Fuck you. If I had to spend 11 times more on my Yeezys than you did for the same fucking shoe, and I feel like I want to take a little bit more care of them and maybe put them on ice for a little bit and like just come to terms with the fact that I'm about to put $1,000 shoes on my feet and wear out into the dirty world as opposed to your fucking ass that got them for retail, I'm sorry that I don't feel the same way as you. Fuck you, you piece of shit. Not naming no names, though. All right, that's just to be a little bit mean, but it's a little bit dramatic because, on YouTube, you got to be a little bit dramatic, right? Jake Paul, bitches. All right, let me catch my breath real quick because I just got out of the shower. I'm not about to start sweating again. Where was I? Yeah, so I mean, it's just kind of funny with these influencers that have easy access to sneakers, or at least have the means, the same way I do. The same way, I don't have influencer status, I don't have like plugs and all that ish, but I do have cash, and I do got some nice jobs. So I can get any fucking shoe I want, and I does get any shoe I want. With that said, I have plenty of Yeezys. What it do? Yo, how clean these shoes are. I know y'all love that. But check this. Man, these people that have easy access to Yeezys and all of a sudden have the audacity to be turned off by Yeezys because more people can have them. How fucking arrogant do you have to feel about yourself to say those things? Again, I take it in the context of, listen, you don't want everyone to be able to have access to just one pair of Yeezys because then everyone's going to wear them and then they're not special. You know what? I've come around to that. I've seen it firsthand. I totally understand it now because I used to not get it. Even with the whole Stan Smith example. But my point was, if everyone had access to Stan Smiths, and in the current sneaker culture where everyone has 5 billion shoes coming out every weekend, eventually everyone's going to start, filtering into their own lanes if everything is general release, and you'll all find your own way to stand out. On top of the fact that it's not the shoe that makes you, it's the way you style it, and all that still applies here. But anyway, let's leave that for a second because that's a little bit of a harder argument to make. But what I'm trying to say is, hey, listen, it's okay if you want to do the whole limited colorways in the beginning. So, the V1s, for example, you want to keep those limited and you never want to make them again. The 750s, you make 4 different colorways and that's it. You never want to make them again. Fine. You know what? At the time, I wasn't cool with it. At this point, I'm cool with it in the context of, hey, you want to bust out like all these new V2 colorways? By all means. Remember that picture we saw with like 8,000 new colorways of V2s coming out and everyone's like, oh, Yeezys are dead. Yeezys are dead. That's where I have an issue, okay? If you're cool with the Yeezy, if you like it as a shoe, if you like sneakers, you should be okay with 1 billion new colorways coming out. Because listen, I'm not interested in any of those new colorways. I got the OG Belugas, I got the Zebras, and I mean, you guys have seen what Yeezys I have, but I have no interest in getting the new ones. Where I have a problem is when you think a shoe is either ugly or you're turned off by it because it's a new colorway and because it's a general release. That I have an issue with. We need to stop that issue, okay? Let's bring it back to the Butters, for example. Just close your eyes for a second. I want you to close your eyes. And I want you to imagine a world where no Yeezys exist, and this is the first Yeezy that comes out. The Butter. Bill Burr. So the Easy Shade Butter colorway comes out for the first OG colorway. I guarantee you I would be jizzing in my pants over that colorway in the context of it being the first Yeezy ever. And then if the Beluga came out as like a GR colorway, we'd all be saying, oh my God, it's so ugly. Yeezy hype is that. So use that to help train your brain to tell you, hey, it's not always the colorway, let alone the numbers. It's sometimes just the context of how you're receiving the sneaker for the first time. And not to take this a little bit left again, but Drake's Scorpion album, if you listen to it with the wrong intentions, aka where's the Pusha comeback? Where's the Pusha diss track? Where? We didn't get the push. Shut the fuck up, you idiot. I'm just gonna leave that alone. We don't need to go there. I do have a lot of thoughts on that stuff, but it's not my expertise, so I'll leave it alone. Maybe if you guys are interested, I can give you some more in-depth, personalized, intellectualized thoughts on that are gonna getting all kooky up in my brain real quick, but that's not what we're here to talk about. Let's try and keep this focused, even though I'm like way off topic already. Don't you remember this kid?
Did you get something you wanted, JG?
Don't you want every kid to feel that way that kid felt about that pair of Air Maxes that's probably retroed multiple times between those 80s days and today? Who the fuck gives you the right to control the narrative on who gets what shoe and how they should feel about it and what's dead and what's not? It's just ridiculous, man. It's ridiculous.
This is ridiculous.
Listen, man, there was a time in my life where I could only afford Payless sneakers, and I got roasted in school for those. And the day I heard Yeezy was against that kind of ish,
I called the head of Payless. I'm like, I want to work with you. I want to take all this information that I learned from sitting at all these fashion shows and knocking at all these doors and buying all this expensive clothes, and I want to take away bullying.
I have been on board 100%. And if you're not, you ain't a real fan. You ain't a real stan. You on some goofy ass ish, okay? And that's okay. I still love you. I still fuck with you. But stop ruining it for everyone else, especially you fucking influencers out there. You're affecting all these kids. Their only exposure to the sneakers is sometimes you guys, and you guys are setting a bad example. Fuck you. Clean up your act. Be better. Do better. Grow the fuck up. I'm still staying a kid though. Oof, all right. Bottom line, Yeezy V2 butter. It's a great looking shoe. I'm very pleased with it aesthetically. I'm also very pleased that a lot more of you kids will be able to go get it, and a lot more easier. What? I miss those days where you could just like take your time making decisions on which sneakers you really want and don't. I hate the fact that I have to make a split decision on, is this going to sell out? Is it not? Is the price going to go up if I don't pull the trigger right now? Am I going to regret it? And then you either do regret it or you don't. It's like we shouldn't let sneaker companies put us through that bullshit. Keep everything general. Give us a week to look at it in Foot Locker, touch it, play with it, hold it, feel it. Try it on. Get our right fucking size for once so we can actually fucking enjoy the sneakers. Man, that shit pisses me off. So yeah, this is great, man. If we're going to start getting general release V2s, I am all about it. I'm not going to be buying any more. I got all mine. But for a kid coming into the sneaker game, this is what you want to see. Trust me. This is an even better time to be alive as far as the sneaker game goes if things are going to be general release. So I give to you my Skip Bayless hot take. Yeezy hype is not dead. In fact, Yeezy hype is about to be higher than it has ever been before, all thanks to general releases. Riddle me this, hot shot. How many times did you hate a sneaker until you saw it on foot and then you became a fan of it? Riddle me this. How many times did you see a sneaker over and over and over again and finally was convinced that it was a sneaker worth having? Huh? I'll wait. Point is, if we give more people the opportunity to have the shoe, then people will naturally gravitate towards the actual good shoes, the actual high quality shoes, the actual shoes worth copping, as opposed to just artificially reducing the supply of a certain shoe so that there's artificial increase in demand and hype of a shoe, so that a shoe that really doesn't deserve the hype or the price tag won't see it. Fuck all that artificial flavoring shit. We need real quality in the sneaker game, now more than ever. A sneaker could be dope AF, but if no one can have it except like 6 people who no one gives a shit about, it doesn't help anybody. The closest bonds you build with those sneakers is the ones that you can show off to your friends, the ones that you can cherish memories in with your family, with your dad, with your mom, with your siblings. That's where sneaker culture grows. How many times have you seen an ugly sneaker that you're like, why is this so-and-so's favorite sneaker? And they give you a big backstory behind it of how they either got it or what kind of memories they built in those shoes. And you can't have those kinds of stories if you limit these sneakers and only let certain people get access to those sneakers. That's not fair. That's not right. Sneaker brands, you're thinking too short term. Stop limiting these sneakers. Honestly, the biggest fix, the ugly colorways, make those the limited sneakers, because these hype beast idiots that don't know what the hell they're doing anyway, let them enjoy these limited products that they think are so amazing because they're limited. Ooh, yo, by the way, quick clarification. Just want to make sure y'all understand. I totally get how certain collaborations and certain premium product type collabs that they use, like very premium materials, for example, on a limited run of sneakers, those I totally understand. I mean, you cannot make general releases of everything. That I totally get it. And for those, hey, chalk it up to it is what it is. But for the rest of them, like if they're just a different colorway with the same materials, that's all I'm trying to say. Okay, you know, let the hypebeasts have like the trash colorways. I mean, they're just gonna let them sit in their closets anyway and collect dust and then end up selling them because they regret buying them because they didn't even want them in the first place. You know, because they're garbage anyway. So yeah, let them, you know,
let them circle jerk with the ugly shit. Give us the quality, good stuff. Speaking of which, let's just single out Jordan Brand real quick. OG colorways, please make them all GR. The little bullshit colorways, like the Letterman ones or whatever other garbage Michael Jordan storyline you want to like just tease out for a little extra cash, make those the limited ones, and that way they'll all sell. They won't all go to the outlets, and the hypebeasts can all circle jerk about them, and whatever. I mean, that's just my opinion. Just for the sake of being limited, let them enjoy that trash. The nice colorways, don't make those the OG colorways. Make those the general release colorways. Actually, I take that back. OG colorways do have to impress, so you do have to put some good OG colorways out. But save some, man. Save some for the general releases so that we can actually enjoy them. People can actually enjoy them, build memories in them. You need human beings to push your brand image. You need human beings to push the stories of your shoes and the attraction to your shoes and the brand loyalty to your shoes. You're not going to get that by putting out the trash shit for general releases. No one's going to buy it, and that's why it's sitting, and that's why it's going on sale, and that's why you're making less money. Oof, I think that's enough. There's so many other things I felt like I wanted to say, but I just didn't say. But that's all right. Let's keep this discussion going. Maybe I'll do a part 2 if this registers with y'all. And if you have any further questions, criticism, or whatever y'all want to do, I don't give a fuck. With that said, thanks for joining. We'll see you on the next one. We out. Bye. Peace.